So, West made a response video to my debunk video where he tries to debunk me, but, well, he ends up clowning himself even more. So let's get into all the points he quote-unquote debunks about me. Okay, so he says I claim he's 16 even though he's 15.
Claims I am 16 years old is mentioned when he replied to someone on how old am I, bro. That isn't true. I'm still 15, and even on your addendum video you also claimed I was 15, and I was 14 at the time. You figured.
Which, this is the only point I can actually give to him. Because the reason I said he's 16 is because back in 2020 when he got exposed, he was 14 but turned 15 that year. So I thought this year he'd be 16, which legally does make him old enough to be a pedophile. But he's not 16, so yeah. I guess if he wants to use that, he can. And my second point, well, the second point he makes in the video, he didn't know what CP was, which I'll show right here.
Unquote CP, and sent it to minors, and I just spitted facts that I didn't know what literal CP was, and then they continue to claim the same reason, as it is the low-hanging fruit.
Oh man. If I walk up and I punch someone in the face, just straight sock them, I didn't know that was considered assault, and I didn't know that was illegal. I didn't even know what assault was. I'm still gonna be arrested for assault, right? If I send someone a picture of a minor in a sexual position and like to another minor, I'm still going to get arrested by the fucking cops because that's fucking CP and that's against the law, bro. It doesn't matter if you don't know what the crime is. I didn't know it was against the law to be in fucking condemned houses and abandoned houses. When I was caught in an abandoned house when I was 17, the police were still called and I got let off with a not 17, fuck. When I was 7, the police were still called and I was let off with a warning and told not to explore abandoned houses because it's illegal. I didn't know it was illegal, but I still got the cops called on me for it because, again, it's a crime. It doesn't matter if you know it's illegal or not. Another thing I want to bring up for point 2, that he didn't know what CP was. Like I pointed out in my last video, he literally acknowledged the major age gap between him and Pibby, saying that, oh, I'm 14 and Pibby's 7. Oh, I'm 14 and Pibby's 7. That's a 7-year age gap. Not even Romeo and Juliet laws get that wide. If this man was just 2 years older, he'd be in fucking jail right now, bro. And another thing to further prove that West knew what he was doing was wrong was that back when he first got exposed by me, we were still talking. I was still trying to help him out. He literally said he was going to go tell his therapist about this and get help from his therapist because that's how bad his attraction was. But then he later went on to say that he's not sure if therapy could even help him because he has a track record of not listening to his therapist, being so inclined to do what his therapist tells him not to do that he often just disregards what his therapist says. And we clearly see that this is a possibility, seeing as he says he couldn't help himself when clicking on a comic, a porn comic called Fucking with Pibby. So his third point, the thing about Tom possessing CP.
Also, people have been going after Tom all because he had quote-unquote CP when he never had any. Keep in mind that Tom is 17 and myself is 15.
I don't know anything about this. I did not make this claim about Tom, but one thing he says is that Tom is 17. So if Tom is, say, in possession of, say, Rule 34 of a minor, just like just like West was, that is still legally considered CP under the Federal Protect Act of 2003, and Tom could go to jail for it because he's 17. He's old enough to be considered a pedophile. Again, I'm not claiming Tom is a pedophile. I don't know anything about the Tom controversy. That happened outside of the EAS community. I don't know shit about that. But I just wanted to bring that up since he brought it up in his video. His fourth point. Homelessville sent the actual image.
And to you who are about to complain, Homelessville actually sent in the image and claimed he said too late and then also said caught it. Like bro, what the actual fuck? It's also worth to mention that Homelessville downloaded the images so he can try and make me look bad by being the quote-unquote bad guy.
Now this is actually true. Homelessville did send the image, but there's some context here. Easy West, or Coral in this case, sent the image first. Homelessville simply saw that West sent the photo and screenshotted it and then sent it again as a sort of caught in 4K moment. Now, could you say this is still on Homelessville since he did technically download and redistribute CP? Yeah, that's a little weird. He maybe shouldn't have done that. But that doesn't discount or take away from the fact that West was the one who did it first and even admitted to doing so. And then we get to the final point of the video, his bad childhood.
So funny on how they think my bad childhood is considered guilt tripping. Bro, since when was there actual evidence that can also be guilt tripping?
He says that it's not guilt tripping that he brings up his bad childhood, which it totally is. Like, okay, we get it. You were exposed to sexual stuff as a child, and that's fucked up your brain. I was also exposed to sexual stuff as a child. Does that... Am I the one going around sending CP to minors? No. Like, that doesn't excuse shit. Sure, it contextualizes it a little bit. Like, most times people who get exposed to that kind of shit at a young age do turn out to be horrible people. But that doesn't mean it justifies it or that it's something that should even be remotely cared about or taken into consideration. You still did what you did, and you still had to live with the consequences of that. Yeah, this was a terrible debunk video. The only point he actually did debunk of mine was that he wasn't 16, he was in fact 15. So, yeah, that's the only point I can give him, but the rest of my points still stands. He's a weirdo, he's lame, co-parter, suck my balls, get off me in Terrence today. You're a fucking weirdo. You're a creep. And hope Tom's dick feels good. Cause you're riding him an awful lot. I guess my dick feels good too, since you're riding me an awful lot. Yeah, I'ma go back to being the honored one, being the GOAT, being the man. And yeah, I'll see y'all. Alright, so in the literal process of editing this video, Tom responded to me, so now I get to smoke 2 packs today. But his response wasn't really anything all that great. He only made 2 points, which they're 2 really bad points, so let's just get over them. So, this nigga says that Pibby has no confirmed age, and the only age we get is from a fandom page, which is unreliable since pages can be edited. I have 2 points to go against this. One, Adult Swim confirmed that she is a preschooler, which means her age can be anywhere from 4 to 7, which is where the fandom got that from, which is why it's on the fandom page. It's also confirmed that Learning with Pibby, the show that got invaded by the fucking glitch shit, is a children's program show. And in almost every children's program, fucking the main character of the show is a child so that they can relate to the children watching the show. That's where they got their age, that's where they got their guess on Pibby's age from. Pibby is definitely confirmed to be a minor from Adult Swim statements that she is a preschooler, and from the fact that Learning with Pibby is a kid's show. So yeah, we can already debunk that. After that, he doesn't really make any points. He actually admits that some of the stuff Wes did was illegal. So, and the thing is, what I was alleging him of being illegal is the fact that he did send the Pibby stuff, possessed it, and sent it to minors. So in order for him to admit that that's illegal, he would have to admit the fact that Pibby is a minor. Sure, she doesn't have a confirmed age, but she does have a confirmed age range, which is preschool to elementary, which could be anything. That could be fucking 9 years old, that could be 10 years old, that could be 7 years old, which is what the fandom guesses, seeing from Adult Swim statements. And that West himself even says that Pibby is fucking 7. So he was clearly under the impression that this was a minor character that he was attracted to, and he acknowledged the age gap. You have incriminated your friend, you fucking dumbass. You are slow. Get off my dick, bro. I own both of you niggas. You are lames.